Hi guys, GhostofWes here. I'm back, as I said I would be. I did a few searches on the internet for some things to talk about today, and I found something very interesting. I've always imagined what would it be like to play a mobile-style game with superheroes. It seems like perfect combination. And I found that very thing today. Infinite Crisis, DC Universe superheroes and villains in a mobile style game. It's kind of like the League of Legends Dominion map, but key differences and stuff like that. It's in closed beta, so it's not perfect yet. There's a lot of stuff that they're working on getting done, getting things changed up so that it would be able to be, so they could release it to the public. They're going to do a free to play model like League of Legends, from what I understand. I watched the Angry Joe show as he introduced it to everybody. He played two characters. He played two different games as two different characters. The first game he played Flash, and that was very interesting. It was like it was a good take on the AP champions from League of Legends. It's power. He also played in his second video. He played Cyborg, I think it was. Yeah, Cyborg. And he was an attack damage style champion, which in that game they call strength. It's got, from what I understand, a much easier or smoothed out item system. It's got a few problems, of course. Beta is beta, as anybody will tell you. But I signed up for the closed beta, and I'm waiting to hear something from them. Maybe I can get in and give you guys some better feedback on this game as it makes its climb into the mobile ranks. If it does very well, which I think it would, considering it's backed by DC Universe. Uh, I mean, think about it: Batman versus Superman in a mobile style game. Yeah, nobody really likes. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody, because there are some people out there that like the whole Batman versus Superman thing. But me personally, I like it better when they team up, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for in the Batman Superman movie that's coming out, that they announced at Comic Con. Yeah, Comic Con. Uh, it's gonna be a big thing on my list for a while. I'm gonna look into it, see what I can learn about it, and if I even if I don't get into the closed beta, but if I do, you guys are sure gonna be hearing something from me about it. Uh, After the last video, I went and played a game of ARAM. Didn't do too well. Had a bad team. I made some mistakes myself, which is normal in ARAM when you're playing champions that you're not used to playing. You got to pretty much feel them out. Um, it's really not much to say on all that today. Didn't really get too much into it. There's I did get to play Fizz for the first time, and I like him. I'm not really that thrilled about him being melee ranged AP champion for AP mid. He's got his ult and everything is awesome. Just stack AP as high as you can get it and deal as much damage as possible with that ultimate. I'm gonna play a few more games with him, see if I can get into the rhythm with him. I guess I do like to play AP mid champions, but I don't have very many of them bought. Most of the champions that I do own are top or jungle, mainly jungle. Nocturne, for instance, is one of my favorite jungles besides Trundle. Uh, Pretty much because with his ultimate, he can gank from anywhere. You can ward the river and all the other entrance ways right there, but he can still get you without you seeing him coming, because that ultimate, he can come right up the lane, pop that ultimate, and jump right to the fight and initiate for the team. He's pretty strong when you play him right. But there's a lot of people that don't know how to play him right. That's true with any champion, though. I also got to play some Garen and Summoner's Rift. I have a special build that I play with Garen. It's not really the tank. It's more like a AD carry Garen, kind of, which is a little weird with the. It's a little bit weird with the whole needing to build tanky to survive early game thing, but that kind of gets replaced when you get enough lifesteal and attack speed. I like getting Zephyr for the attack speed and movement speed. I'll get a Phantom Dancer because minion blocks OP. Sometimes I might switch it out for a static shiv depending on how the game's going, when I'm, how much gold I'm building up, whether I feel I can take that leap and get the Phantom Dancer over the static shiv. But that just helps you farm. All that giving you the attack speed and movement speed and everything that you can get. Build Bloodthirster and a Blade of the Rune King, which also gives you some more attack speed, so you're really quick and nuke them down really hard with your Q ability. I don't really study the names of them. I just know what they do, what they're supposed to do when I hit the button. But I do need to study those up a little bit, so I can explain it to y'all a little more. But it's really interesting to me how you can change stuff up and change a champion who has a kit for one thing and make him really good in another spot. You get him some Berserker Greaves. So you get the Zephyr, the Berserker Greaves, Phantom Dancer, the Blade of the Rune King, and the Bloodthirster, and an Infinity Edge, if that's what you want to go for. If you really want to get something for the tank, get a Sunfire Cape. It goes good with every one of his abilities, pretty much. If you'd rather not do that, Warmogs, because that extra health and the health regen is going to go well with your passive ability. It's it's fun. You gotta have a team that's willing to put up with your shenanigans and not expect you to play the meta. Which, don't play ranked that way. Don't play ranked that way. You just get so many people that are gonna just give up because you're not doing what you're supposed to do by within the meta. But usually when I do that build, I do quite well. I might give up a few kills early game because I don't have the tankiness that Garen requires. But if you just play a little bit more defensive and don't let them dive you or anything like that, especially if you're soloing top, it's hard to not die in those situations. But it works. Late game, mid to late game, when you're just bam, 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 when everybody's expecting bam, bam, bam. It's it does a lot. It really does, especially when you get caught in a team fight and they're for some reason focusing you. Which, if you're building the way I'm talking about building, they're going to, because they're like, oh, he has no tank ability, he's going to be squishy. Which is true to a point, but Garen has his own toughness there. I would have said, with the Infinity Edge and the Phantom Dancer and all that giving you the crit stuff, you got to remember your Judgment, which is your spin to win ability. It doesn't crit. You cannot crit with your Judgment. But you can crit with your auto attacks and all that other stuff. People usually don't expect that too much. And I probably look like an idiot talking like that, but it's fun to try things that are not normal with a champion, especially when people are expecting to play against you and expect you to build one way, and you surprise them by doing something completely different, and they've already wasted gold buying items and stuff like that to counter what you are supposed to be doing. It's just a lot of fun. I love League of Legends. It really is a lot of fun to play. There's so many champions to talk about, and I think that that's pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a champion each day, and I'm going to play a few games with them, and then I'm going to come on here and I'm going to record and talk to you guys how my games went, what I built, how I felt I could have done it differently, uh, and maybe get some feedback from y'all. What do you guys think about the build that give that I told you with Garen a try? And it works better when you're doing a dual top lane and no jungle. But that's just my opinion. Give it a try. Tell me what you think. Leave it in the comments. Uh, yeah, it's just fun to do stuff like that. And no, it's not trolling. Trolling would be running into the other team and dying on purpose, or running into their towers and letting that stuff happen, or throwing a fit and going and feeding somebody else's lane because they got the role you wanted, and you're too much of a little to play another lane. That's why I picked 3 roles and I've practiced all 3 of them. Eventually, one of these days, I'm going to start practicing 80 carries and supports, so that I'll be able to fill any role that my team needs me to fill when I queue up. I don't really play ranked games a lot because I don't have anybody to queue up with that I know are good enough to help me out, and that I'll be able to help them out. They're not going to play stupid, something like that. Everybody that plays in games is familiar with ELO Hell, or ELO Hell, however you want to say it. It does exist. Don't let people tell you that it doesn't, because it does. Especially with the way League of Legends does the points and everything. You win a game, you get 6 points. You lose a game, you lose 40. How is that fair? I have no idea. But I guess it's just something they're trying to do to keep the people that are of a lower skill cap out of the higher ranks, which we really shouldn't have to worry about, because if they're low skill cap playing in the higher ranks, they're going to lose game after game after game after game. They don't deserve to be there, and you shouldn't punish the people that do deserve to be there by making an unfair thing like that. My personal opinion, if they want to do something like that, say if you're going to win and get 6 points for winning, if you lost, maybe you only lose 12 points or 18 points. Something that is not so ridiculous. You lose a game, you're back 3 games instead of back 6, 7, however many games it takes you to get those 30 to 40 points that you end up losing. But I'm ranting now, so I'm going to go ahead and call this one. Good to see y'all here again. See you tomorrow.